They're the stupidest I may have ever looked.
Do you want a pillow?
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Hello.
Hi.
Sorry. We were talking about how they make you take a picture for the thumbnail.
Yeah, and those thumbnails are the stupidest I've ever looked. Possibly.
Oh yeah, because I haven't seen. We just filmed a Taurus Venus video, so that's coming.
Yes.
But this is my first video with my haircut. Okay, but that's not. This is not about my haircut. This is about Alice's live drag me video, which will be starting in a few minutes.
Oh, once she's in the
building. And let's do our little spiel. So it's not down below right
because
now.
Of the new way that live streams work, but
it will be all the information will be.
This is not your average live stream. This is
or even birth chart reading.
Yeah, this is Alice's live drag me, and if you didn't know, you should know that a drag me is a birth chart reading that we provide on our website, partytrippastrology.com. And it is our least educational and most cheeky reading.
Yeah. The link will be down below. Did you say that?
Yeah, well, yeah, the link is always down below to our website, or you can go to partytrippastrology.com/shop to see all of our birth chart reading options. And we always have, or not always, there's an option that is the most popular to have your chart drag live if you do a drag me reading. But recently we just actually posted, thanks to Adam and his kindness, we posted an advanced chart reading so that you can have an understanding of what an advanced chart reading is like.
Yes. And you can also do a drag me private.
Yes. And then a beginner chart reading is similar to advanced chart reading, but it is shorter and recommended for people who are just looking, who haven't got the basics down, so that we can cover those more.
Yes. And
we also have a transit reading.
Yes. Oh, I was going to say something else that's like a frequently asked question. Oh, a lot of people ask how long it takes for your reading, and that honestly just depends.
Yeah.
I would say a month and a half, give it like.
Yeah, around there.
It just depends. Some people get theirs way quicker than others.
Yeah, yeah.
It just depends on the influx. Like, 'cause sometimes we'll get like a random influx of like 3 in a day. So like one person could get theirs much more quicker than it depends, but
it really depends.
You do have to give us some time. You have to be patient with us because we are just 2 gals.
Yeah, but if you do email us, we can tell you where you are on the list after you've purchased it.
And if you're curious, actually, that we're on number 52 right now.
Yeah.
So whatever your order number is, the last 2 digits, so you know how quickly you're coming up
in the list.
This is 52. We should start mentioning that in these drag meets because I think that's helpful. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. Alice's birth chart information will be down below if she's all right with that. I'll ask her when she gets here. And if she is, then if you want to follow along, it'll be down below. But unfortunately, I can't edit it right now. But
yeah, but you can also, once she gets here, sorry, shaking it. When she gets here, you can ask in the comments, and she'll maybe if she's comfortable with it, and if she reads your comment, she can respond herself.
Yeah. Thank you for the compliments of the hair. Shaina looks like my mom. I'm a dad. I don't have.
Yeah.
I think I do kind of look like a mom now. I think it's a very mom haircut because it's like the haircut that you put when you don't 16. Have time. That's true. I'm like a 16-year-old with like a mom
16
haircut.
and pregnant.
No.
No. Did you know that people used to not be able to tell us apart physically?
Yeah. I don't know. So Alice, when she's here, we'll get started. And if you're watching this after the fact of us doing it, sorry.
Alice is here, right?
Hello.
No, this is Alice M. We're looking for an Alice O, right?
Really?
Yeah.
Yes, Alice.
Unless your middle name is M. Please clarify.
It might just be a different Alice. Yeah.
Oh, it's me.
Okay.
Okay. Prove it. It's your birthday. We don't want to. I don't know. Although, like, what would you gain by pretending to be Alice? Just make us go faster.
Because we're not gonna like put in.
Yeah, it's my name. Okay, yeah, let's just go. So,
So, I mean, that's an 8th house, which she's like skeptical. What is the truth here?
But you relate because you're a Scorpio.
That's true. You really understand this. You're a Scorpio in the 8th house.
Damn.
Yes.
Okay, so where do we start?
Well, okay, so let's see. Pisces rising, Scorpio sun, Leo moon. These are all very draggable. Honestly, you're a mess. Not that anybody's like not, but like you like to show that you are. You know what I mean? You don't want to keep it hidden. Like you probably love the fact that you're a mess.
Especially because
you're so messy.
Especially because your sun trines your ascendant like really closely. You're really into that look. You're the damaged, tortured mess soul. You like to express
and show that off.
Yeah, you like to express how horrible your life is, how much you're going through.
Yeah.
By just like showing up as a mess everywhere.
Yes, and don't forget you're always the victim, right?
Yes. Always the victim. But you just give so much and people just take.
That is true, but that's
true. Because you're such a victim.
Yeah, okay. So yeah, Pisces risings. You don't know what a timetable is. Like you don't understand. And you have a 6th house moon, but that's
just conflicting with it.
So like maybe I think what you do is you purposefully spend time to like make yourself look like a mess. Like you're not the kind of person that just like gets out of bed and just whatever and you just go to school or whatever.
It's a little more calculated.
You're a lot more calculated. You're like spend your time making your hair look the right kind of mess.
Yeah, your style is mess.
Yeah.
And you got to feel comfortable in how messy you are. Things that you don't know besides a timetable. You don't understand a dress code.
Right.
You don't understand showing up for people on time, but you do understand other people being late to show up to you. So Leo moon, let's drag a Leo moon because Leo moon, especially in someone who is a water sun or has a lot of water, is just so like easily poked. Just so easly poked.
Right.
And they react.
It's always boiling under the surface.
Yeah. And they just react like,
ooh, but yeah, and you're like a Virgo Mars, so you're like,
yeah, you're just like, stop provoking me.
but you're not gonna like admit that like you're probably the one provoking the other person in a lot of times.
Yeah,
but you're never gonna admit that. You're gonna be like, you did it to me.
Especially because you have a weak Mars placement. If you've been provoking someone and they speak out against you and they confront you, you are immediately like, you are being so aggressive. You're attacking my character. Why are you doing this to me?
Oh my God,
to me.
You're totally someone that takes the phrase like, leave me alone too far. You know what I mean? Or just like leave people alone. Like you're going to fight for the underdog, I think, too much. You know what I mean?
Leave me alone.
Give too many people passes. But that doesn't mean that like you'll give people passes because you're Pisces rising and you have kind of a more passive Mars. But that doesn't mean that you'll ever forget what they've done. You'll hold on to it like no other and probably create such like a grudge with that and just bitterness and just, I just feel like you won't tell them though, you know?
You know what? If
you'll just like be silent to them and not say
I like didn't know you and we weren't doing this drag me for you and someone just said like, hey, this person is interested in you. This person wants to date you. And I was like, okay, show me their birth chart. I would see this birth chart and I would throw it across the room and say never in a million years. That partially has to just do with my energy. I'm not saying that you're completely incapable of love, but you can definitely be a lot to handle in a relationship. Because you're a Scorpio with a Venus in Scorpio. So good luck if you want to have like any autonomy or freedom in a relationship with you or or talk to other people. Or
have a life outside of
friends.
You.
Have friends of the opposite gender, or God forbid that you like both genders and have friends at all, period.
Yeah.
And then your Mars.
Or talk to anybody for more than a second.
Yeah. Or make eye contact with people that aren't you. And then your Mars is in the 7th house, which is just
yeah, get away from me. No.
It's in Virgo in the 7th house. So it's like you really seem like quite chill. You got Pisces rising. You seem really chill.
You
really
seem
cool.
so easygoing.
Little do they know. You don't seem like you're going to start a lot of conflict. But if you're in a relationship with somebody, that's where you're going to channel all of your frustration with everything. And Mars and Virgo can be frustrated by a lot of things.
Small, little, minute
and
things.
You can, I'm not saying that you do, but this is a drag. So for the purposes of, you can just like streamline all of your anger into this one person who is already doing so much by being in a relationship with you, especially if they can read birth charts. Because then they know what they're getting into. And your sun is square your moon.
Oh my God, I didn't even notice that. Man.
At a very close orb.
Wow. Okay, so Leo moon. Jesus Christ. You're just like, you don't want to show how extra you are, but like you're so extra and so, you really like drama. But like not like just surface level, like you like deep, cutting, traumatic drama. Like it's not just yeah, that's what I mean. Like it's not like Leo typical drama, where I think Leo drama can kind of be kind of silly sometimes.
Yeah,
like, it's kind of like reality TV show, like over dramatized, kind of like this isn't a big deal, but they just like putting it on.
Yeah, you have that too. So like say, what happened with your brain, or like what? I just got into a big fight with Sandra. What happened? Well, she came over and she took my 7th grade bowling trophy and threw it at my TV. That's kind of Leo drama. Yeah. You like that, but you also like what happened when you came in, when you went back home to visit your family. Well, I don't know, like insert 7 years or 12 years of slave footage.
Like you're gonna be like, my dad is so abusive and da 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 da, and it's like, maybe I'm not saying that you have a good or a bad relationship with your parents. I'm not saying this literally, but I'm saying this as an example. Like, let's say you don't have the best relationship with your dad, which you probably don't have a good relationship with your dad.
Your sun is in the 8th house.
Your sun in Saturn. But like, let's say there was some emotional abuse that happened, which again, there probably was. And I'm not saying this to belittle that because it is very valid. But what you'll do with the Leo moon is just play it up, tell everyone, but yet at the same time, be secretive about it and almost maybe like fluff it up and lie about it, and just really, you want to show people the pain you're going through.
Yeah, so you will dramatize it to the point of like, you went through emotional abuse, could have been in whatever situation. And you'll tell people that the person that you suffered emotional abuse from, just to, not saying that emotional abuse is any less than physical abuse,
right?
But you will feel like you need to hype it up by saying that you were physically abused.
Because you have this like water complex and Leo moon that kind of makes, you like the attention you get from suffering. So if something bad happened to you, you almost want to milk that suffering to people. And I think you kind of like the idea of like the Sleeping Beauty. The tragic thing happened and I fell asleep for so long and somebody comes and saved you. You really want to share your suffering and then have somebody come in and save you from it. Like you really like that idea.
But you're also going, and it's likely from relationships because you have a Pisces rising, so you have Virgo in the 12th house or 7th house. So that's what you're looking for, a partner who will save you from your shit, you know? And so, but then your Mars is there. So it can be one of two things. You are attracted to people who give all these promises of saving you, but are also abusive. Or because you've been through so much and you have like a very hard shell and you can be very defensive, you get into a relationship with someone who is so willing to just like save you and give them your all and everything, all and everything, and you don't know how to react to that, so you attack them and you just like give them this shit that they don't deserve because of your own insecurities, because of your own walls, because of your own trauma being projected onto them.
And you have moon square Venus. So you are never satisfied.
You don't know what you want.
You don't know what you want because you want two very different things. On one side, you're like, I just want attention. I just want, like, well, on both sides, you're like, I want unconditional love. Okay. But on one side, it's very like kind of more surface level drama appearance. And the other side, it's like, I want something deep and but no matter what it is, you are such a dramatic person. I know we keep on saying that, but like, my God, you would totally be somebody who, you're not going to quit a job in silence. You're going to quit a job and go out just like, you're going to be one of those people that quits and then like people tell the tale of how you quit, or something like that. And you're going to pretend it was because like, they abused me. This establishment abused me. I am trapped in here. It is a prison. Girl, you always live in a prison, newsflash. But meaning like, it's a prison in here. They did this and this. They're treating me terribly. How could they? I'm not appreciated for my gifts because I'm a Leo moon, and that's I'm not given enough attention.
And I've been through so much, and I've worked so hard. I don't deserve to be treated like this.
It's irrelevant that I was late every day, and I'm always on my phone.
I'm just going through a lot.
Yeah, that's your catchphrase. I'm just going through a lot right now.
And again, Pisces rising, so you want to show off how you are going through a lot. Like you were like,
I'm going through other worldly shit.
Yeah. So I'm a mess. I look like a mess. I appear like a mess. This is real. This is me. I'm just going through a lot. Maybe you don't like this anymore, but maybe you were like this in like middle school. TBH, I was a little like this in middle school. I'm also an A son, so I was like, I'm going through a lot, and I'm a Cancer rising, so I also always kind of look like a mess. Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely had, you're 98, so you're like our generation, so you definitely went through that like scene emo, like you were in that crowd.
Yes.
You know, you had, I'm thinking a common, like not scene or emo, because Pisces is scene, Scorpio is emo, right? So it's kind of like a melding of the two.
But I'm thinking like My Chemical Romance.
Scene is like that colorful.
Okay, like RAR.
Yes, RAR means I love you and dinosaur. That was your like MySpace thing. But it's like your favorite store was Hot Topic is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, and then emo is like My Chemical Romance.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, which is like Scorpio. Okay, so you went through both phases, and you're probably still going through both phases. And yeah, your hair is probably always crazy. Like you must have some kind of hair. This isn't a drag.
Right.
Like, what does your hair look like? Can you tell us what your hair? I'm curious.
The Scorpio Pisces combination for sure always
dyed hair with the Leo moon, so it's like all about it. So you must have had like the ultimate like everybody wanted your scene haircut or something. Yeah. Also, okay, so not only are you Pisces rising, but it's also conjunct, like Jupiter's conjunct your ascendant. So do you overindulge in shit? Do you drugs? Alcohol,
you know,
television,
it's funny because we've been talking about how like, oh, you said I was emo as hell.
Oh my God, you just saying her as me? No way.
Roast yourself.
That's fine. I just didn't expect that. It's darker than it's not going to be black forever, but
yeah. So like we've been talking about how you go through a lot and you know you feel all the things and you're like always I'm going through a lot and that your life has not necessarily been easy, but then also you have Jupiter conjunct your ascendant,
right?
So like your life has been hard emotionally, but your life path has had some like really great coincidences of like easy breezy.
With people almost.
Yeah,
like, you can just interact and get along with people in a certain way, or not get along, but maybe just you bring people to you. People are going to be attracted to you. Like you're the person that everybody wants to take to parties is what I think of with Pisces rising Jupiter ascendant, because they know that you're kind of down for anything, but you're also the life of the party. And you're going to cause like, you're going to cause some shit. You're going to make a story that people are still talking about like years later. Yeah.
Of, like, remember when Alice like peed in his shoes?
Yeah. Yeah. And you probably feel like so restricted on your day-to-day life because you have these 8th house stuff that you probably really use substances as a way to escape that prison and make a scene like your Leo moon wants. Kind of like, I feel like it gets rid of that sun square moon and your like Leo moon comes out and it's like, finally, I'm out of this prison. Here we go. I am me. Look at me. Talk to me. No. But okay, so Virgo Mars with you in a relationship. So this is kind of going backwards. I hope you don't mind that I just like totally, but when you're like, let's say you're in a committed relationship, First of all, you want to engulf that person, but you know that if you watch our Venus and Scorpio video, honestly, that's like a 20-minute drag. Okay.
And low key, if you watch any of our other Venus videos,
Yeah.
we throw in a little Scorpio Venus.
Yeah, we do. I've never been with a Scorpio Venus, but like I don't ever want to be.
I have #regrets.
Remember when Nina was like, the one thing I won't do is Scorpio?
There's a reason.
Okay, so but you're Virgo Mars, so you're a mess, but your partner has to be perfect, right? Virgo 7th house, Mars in the 7th house, in Virgo, your partner will do something so small, and it could even be an honest mistake, but whether it is honest or not, you will tear them down for it, and like not let and just like, because Virgos can read people. Like Virgos can spill the tea.
They can like, get in there. And Scorpio too. And Scorpio, but they can
Virgo
use
has that way to use the words with
this is how it is. Sorry, let me roll up my sleeves to talk about what's about to go down here.
Yeah.
You are, think like what are those people called? An archaeologist. Your Virgo part's got the little headlamp,
right? And
you got the little like picks and the scrubbing brushes, but also you got the scrubbing brush, and then your pick is a Scorpio stinger. So this is what you do. You go in there, you dive deep. You dive deep into their soul, you scrub it off with your little toothbrush, and then you're like, this is the most vulnerable part of your character.
And then like with words, you just assault them.
Yeah, no, you're doing this, and then you're like, you know, you suck about this, and I know you're really insecure about this, and it means you suck, and you're a terrible person.
All Virgo Marses are like, I know the capacity that I have to tear people down with my words. I've had somebody say that, not word for word, but nearly word for word. Like they were a nice person, so they didn't want to say it as like harsh, but they were like, if I choose to, like I can really hurt someone with words. Like they never. And so like, I think you're somebody, because you have Virgo Mars in the 7th house, you probably know the damage that you can do with your words. So you probably don't unleash it a lot. Like you probably don't unleash your anger very often. Like you might, like your Leo moon has a natural aggression, but I think it's more of a playful aggression. So you probably don't release your Mars a lot around your friends. They probably think you're the most chill person in a lot of ways, like casual friends. Mm-hmm. But like the second you get in a relationship, it just comes out, and you just put all of your shit and all of your anger and resentment that you have just stored up within you because of your 8th house Scorpio shit just onto the other person. And you can be a flailing mess. You could fuck up more than anyone else, and you would still blame the other person.
You also probably don't have many casual friends. You might not even have like any friends. You might be that person who just has the relationship and that's it, because of all this Scorpio energy that you just like want to dive deep and like 100%, and you would rather just invest all your time into one person than have like first of all, no frivolous relationships for you.
No.
And even more like invest all your time into one very serious relationship than even just like a handful of semi-serious relationships.
I think that you're kind of friends with everyone though. Because you really need the attention from people.
That's true.
But you're like friends. Like very, when I say that, I mean surface level as fuck. Okay? But you're only really friends with who you're in a relationship, or like one person.
Mm-hmm. Or you can like come off as like, we're casual friends, blah, blah, blah. But, and it seems that way, but truly you want more. So then it's like, oh, let's go out for coffee. Yes, you just like seem so fun. You were so fun at that party. Let's go out for coffee. And then you're having coffee with this person who's a pretty new acquaintance, and you're like, yeah, so tell me, like, how was your life? And they're like, oh, you know, this is my life, blah, blah, tells life story. I was a cheerleader, whatever their fucking life story is. And then you're like, oh, yeah, so when I was 13, my father's best friend abused me, and I had to go to court and blah, blah, blah. Like, you're not afraid to just, like, go there.
Right.
I know lots of Scorpio, Venus, and 8th house placement people who just, like, and I'm an 8th house placement person, but
you're more closed off about it.
You guys just, like, how was your upbringing? Oh, it was good. I was a first-generation American. My family is, and then what about you? Oh, I was raped when I was a child. Like, no joke. Like, no. You guys do that.
Yeah, because you're just like, your peacock feather, Scorpio Venus, is your pain and trauma.
Yeah.
So you want to show off, like, look at all my pain and trauma.
Look at how messed up I am.
Yeah.
Don't you want to be all up in this?
Okay, so
no
interesting.
one will ever love you like
Okay,
me.
so mysterious.
What you guys think, what you Venus and Scorpio people think, and Scorpio, because you're also a Scorpio, is like you get into a relationship with someone and you will not let go for the life of you because you were brought up to think, or through your development, you were made to believe that you're not deserving of love. So you find love and you think that's the only chance of ever having love. So you like latch on for dear life.
Mm-hmm.
And it creates horribly toxic, awful relationships.
Yes. Okay, so we've talked about Scorpios for this entire time.
I know we have. And some Mars and Virgo in some places.
But it all goes back to Scorpio. So we're going to take out, because we have like 7 minutes left or something. So if you have anything specific, but we're going to touch on, try to focus on some other things. So we've roasted your Leo moon quite a bit. Leo moon in the 6th house. Now Nina has a 6th house.
Yeah.
Moon. How would you roast a 6th house moon? I feel like it's just too delicate to roast.
Yeah, I'm sorry. It's just like,
because what it is, you want to know why? Because somebody with a 6th house moon, it's not annoying to the other person.
It's just annoying to you.
Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't affect me that Nina has a 6th house moon, but like, God, I'm sure it annoys her because like I have 6th house stuff and I know how much it drives me crazy.
Yeah, and it doesn't drive me crazy that she has 6th house
Yeah,
stuff.
no.
6th house
It just drives the own person.
Especially because you're a Pisces rising. So you're just like all over the place in terms of like, you expect so much of yourself, but also don't believe that you need to work hard. So you get upset with like, I don't know, maybe it's different for someone who doesn't have an understanding of this from an astrological perspective, although you do. Yeah, what am I saying? So like you hate yourself.
Sorry, I got my first one of Shaina looks like. We were just talking about like, now that I've cut my hair, what will I get? Sorry, I'm so sorry. Continue. 6th house moon. You're talking about like
you hate yourself because you're so high maintenance, but you're also so lazy at the same time. And you're only high maintenance to yourself. Maybe you're high maintenance to other people. Like you don't want your space to be dirty. Actually, you're Pisces rising, so you're just like all over the place. People comment all the time, like, I'm a Pisces with an Aries moon. I'm all over the place. But like, this is a really all over the place kind of energy that going on.
People will say that kind of random. Like they'll see that they have 2 signs that are different, and they'll be like, "Who am I? I'm a mess." Like your signs, like it's not necessarily because they don't work together. I mean, obviously, Leo doesn't work with Scorpio, but because of the combination, even though they sometimes work, you're a mess because all of this equals mess, and you'll never be this like, because you want to be a structured person, you want to be
you demand so much of yourself also, and especially because you have got a lot of psychological issues going on since childhood, so you have like stories going on in your head of like, I'm worthless, I'm this, I'm that. With a 6th house moon, that amplifies it to the point of like every little thing that you do is like, I fucked up in this little thing, I am a piece of shit. I'm going to tell a little short 6th house story that happened to me yesterday.
Because Nina also has an 8th house sun and a 6th house moon like you, so it's very relevant.
Yeah, so yesterday I was supposed to be here at Shaina's at 7:20. And I was like, cool, I'm going to be there at 7:20. And so I looked on Waze and I was like, what time do I have to leave to be there at 7:15? You know, I'll be 5 minutes early, and that gives like any room time for traffic. So I leave, I check out on Waze, so I have to leave at 6:50. And then instead, I'm like, I leave at 6:45 just to have some extra room. And I was like 10 minutes late because there was a lot of traffic. And I blamed it on myself. I was like, why didn't I do this? Even though I like did every single precaution to like do it right. And it's also like not that big a deal if I'm there at like 7:23 versus like 7:15.
Do you know what's funny is I had a moment when you were like, oh, I'm going to be late. I was like, oh my God. And I got stressed out because of 6th house stuff. Yeah. I was like, I just don't like the idea of being late. And then I was like, oh my God, Nina's beating herself up about this. I was like, I know that girl left early. And I was like, you know what? I'm not going.
And I was
and I was like, I know this is not her fault. Like, I think if it was anybody else, I'd be like, fuck them, they left late. But I was like, it's Nina. Like, she's killing herself over this. Like, we'll be fine.
And I was also like, because Shaina also has this house stuff. So I was thinking like, oh my God, Shaina hates me. You have this thing. Whenever you fuck up at all, your immediate thing is like, oh my God, whoever I'm disappointing, they hate me. X, Y, and Z hates me. I'm terrible. They're so mad at me. Like, I always think that people are so mad.
Yeah,
So
and with
like,
the 7th house Mars, you probably do too.
So I'm like, she's so mad at me. And then I was like, no, but she's also Shaina. So she gets it.
Yeah. No, but it's funny because I had a moment of like, fuck. And I was like, no.
Yeah. And I had the same thing, like, fuck.
You really, like, as a 6th, with somebody with, like, personal planets in the 6th house, you have to, like, talk yourself down from neuroses all
over the tiniest thing. Like, I was there at 7:23 instead of 7:20.
Yeah, but especially with the Leo moon, like, they already like to make big deals out of small things.
Yeah.
So you make huge deals about the smallest things. And what's crazy is because you're always late somewhere, but you're always probably just beating yourself up about it.
Or you go through phases. You might go through phases depending on like how much you care about the situation. So say you have to like show up to a lecture class that you hate and you're late and the teacher is like, listen, Alice, you've been late consistently for the past 3 weeks. And you're like, listen, you don't know what I go through to get here. Okay. You don't know.
I drank too much last night. I woke up hungover. What am I supposed to do?
Yeah, like and they'll be like, listen, Sandy lives in your dorm and she's always here on time. Well, I'm not Sandy. Yeah, Sandy doesn't go through what I go through.
I have 8th house shit. Okay, nobody understands me.
Or something that you care about. Like, what do you care about? A date, you know? You have to show up to a date. And you're 3 minutes late, and you're like, "Oh my God!"
You're like, "It's over.
It's over. It's over. I'm not going to be myself for the entire date. They hate me. I'm the worst." So you might like go through phases like that.
Yeah, and with your sun square your moon, you definitely have some self-hatred. Anyways, let's see. Oh, Mercury and Sagittarius. We only have like 2 minutes left, but let me just drag Mercury and Sagittarius really quick because I love this placement, honestly. But it's so easy to drag because you have, like, if you're somebody else, like, I'm talking as the other person, like, receiving a Mercury in Sagittarius, you have to take everything you say with a grain of salt. Because, my God, like, it's not because everything you say is a lie. That's not the case. They're not liars, but they're just, like, over-promisers.
Over-promisers,
you know what I mean?
over-exaggerators.
Yeah.
We're going to do this. We're going to do that.
No, but you don't really have follow through because you're so like you find one big idea and you're like, yes. And then you find another big idea. You're like, fuck this last big idea, this new big idea. And you have these grandeur plans and all this stuff, but it's so hard to focus you on just one idea, one of your plentiful ideas, one of your plentiful like topics and subjects and studies. Like you're somebody who didn't know what studies, you studied communications or something.
And you can like contradict yourself as well. You'll be like, especially because like you're very much a person who like acts from the heart and acts from like, this is how I feel.
Yeah.
But then your Mercury in Sagittarius promises that you're going to follow a certain dogmatic path. Mm-hmm. And then you don't. So you'll be like, yeah, and also with a Virgo Mars, you'll expect other people to be this way. So if you're like, okay, we do this all the time. We're vegan if you didn't know. So, so you're like, I'm going to go vegan when I'm 30. Like, I'm not going to make any promises now. Like, one day I'll go vegan. When I'm after, you know, I am past my 20s and I can do whatever the fuck I want, I'll go vegan. And then your friend or your boyfriend or your girlfriend is like, hey, I think that I want to go vegan when I'm 30. Then you're like, why don't you just go vegan now? Like, why are you waiting? Just like go vegan. Stop being a weak, like, come on. Why are you waiting around?
Yeah. Or you'd be like, yeah, totally, 100% vegan. I totally believe in this cause. Da, 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 da. But like your Pisces rising, so will you go through with it? You'll be like, I'm still vegan even though I eat yogurt sometimes.
Yeah. And then someone's like, hey, you can't be vegan if you eat yogurt. And you're like, you don't understand what I go through.
That's just like your retort for everything. Yeah. But it's not like screaming. It's just like, you don't understand my
like, yeah.
But this is it.
Yeah, this is it. Let us know.
This is the least amount of stuff we've ever touched on.
Yeah,
just like dragged a few things.
We did what you do. We put on our little headlamps, took our little toothbrushes, and just went to town.
This was like the easiest one ever. I don't know why.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry. You paid
let us
for
know,
it.
like
You got it. I don't know.
Like you haven't been very
vocal.
Yeah, vocal. So is anything that we said?
You have a good sense of humor though. Mercury and Sagittarius, like
you have to be.
I know. I just
order a drag.
Yeah,
made from us. You have to be.
If you didn't have a Mercury and Sagittarius, you would never order a drag.
Yeah.
That I think brings the only light and. No, you have Jupiter conjunct your ascendant too.
Yeah.
Sagittarius can really save a person.
It can.
Like
some charts need Sagittarius. Like people will say you need Jesus, and we'll say like you need astrology, but really you need Sagittarius.
You need some Jupiter.
You need some Jupiter energy, but it's retrograde, so that sucks.
Oh, well. Okay. Anyways. If you have anything else to say before we leave, I don't know.
Let's read some comments. Someone commented earlier for us to drag their chart. If you want us to drag your chart, you can go to partysugarstrategy.com/shop. And if you want to hear more about that, we have a spiel at the beginning of all of these that you can watch. Yeah.
I don't know. Okay. She seems to have clocked. She feels maybe too exposed.
I don't know. I'm sorry.
You asked for it.
I'm sorry.
Should we say bye? This was a fun one, guys. Have a good day.
Okay, well, bye, Alice.
Bye. You can leave comments once
afterwards.
Oh wait, I love this one. I don't think I have any questions right now. Okay. Well,
thank you for supporting this. Thank you for buying this drag me. If anyone else wants to buy a drag me or any one of our other chart readings, you can go to partysugarstrategy.com/shop.
Yeah, it's funny because at the end of the day, we're like solo ship, and then they were Cancer rising, so we're like, no,
Okay, bye.
Bye.